Please welcome Kate Carmody. Kate, it's a pleasure. Please take a seat here. Kate, I'm looking at that, and you seemed initially nervous going into that presentation for obvious reasons, but by the end, you really had taken control of this, and you had really brought across your passion for the idea. Take us back just maybe to that appearance in Dragon's Den.
I suppose it's like everything, you get very nervous before you start. And it's like I've been sitting here all morning looking at myself at the end of the agenda, and my heart has been running away with itself. But once I get talking, you can't stop me. And, I love what I do. I believe in what I do 120%, because this is the one thing that Ireland can do so well. We have a lovely environment. We have a great agricultural industry, which we threw it on the back burner for the last 10 years in the Celtic Tiger. And we produce good quality food. And, everyone has to eat. So why shouldn't we be the best food producers in the world? And I think we can be.
You obviously have great passion, and we were talking earlier on. You say that eating food is actually a choice, a political choice. It's that important.
It is, because if you look at this country, we have perfected the art of bad governance. We reward people for bad behaviour. But, we're in a hopeless situation at the moment financially, but everyone here can make a real difference by going out there and buying Irish, buying local food, seasonal food, everything that benefits our image as a green island. And, to me, organic food is the ultimate, because you don't get genetically modified food, and you won't end up with 400 different chemicals in your liver, which is what's happening with processed, cheap food, which is coming in from all over the world.
Now, my experience, limited as it is meeting a lot of people with very good ideas, with a great deal of passion, who make terrible business people. And yet you seem to have that something extra. Is an entrepreneur born? Do you feel that there was something inside you waiting to be unlocked as soon as you had this idea?
Well, I was born outside of a comfort zone, because I was born with a huge facial deformity. So I had to fight from the day I was born. They didn't think I would live, in fact. And it just becomes a habit. I'm not afraid of anything, really, except for myself, maybe. But, nothing is impossible in life. Oscar Wilde said that we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. And I think this is such an important message for the people of Ireland, is that we can all make a difference, by buying Irish, by supporting our local business, by supporting ourselves, because it's our own socio-economic area that we support. And, we shouldn't be supporting companies across the world, unless they're producing something we can't do. But, when it comes to food, we can produce the best.
Can I just take it back to that personal motivation when you're faced with something, as you have through your life, that other people don't have to face? There must be a moment when you feel, I just can't do this anymore. I'm just going to give up and just live with what I have. Has there ever been that moment, and if so, what got you through?
Occasionally, like when my husband was dying, it's terrible to watch someone die, and, you just wonder, why do you bother? But I'm afraid I come from a long line of entrepreneurs, and it's just in my blood, if you pardon the pun. I enjoy the adrenaline rush. I enjoy making a difference. And people, on the whole, they enjoy me being controversial, which is, I've been very involved in agricultural politics. And being a woman, you're not liked in agricultural politics. It's a man's world. And I like upsetting them, pushing them out of their comfort zones. And, it's good for people, because complacency destroys people.
Tell me about the product itself, and where did it come about? Obviously, you have a scientific background. You've just been talking very knowledgeably about what goes into food. But where did this particular high-quality food come from?
Well, I blame my mother, because when I got married, I married a Kerryman, a dairy farmer. And when I got married, she gave me a cheese press and a book, because she was from Yorkshire, where they made Wensleydale cheese. And she declared that every dairy farmer should make cheese, and we should be a nation of cheesemakers. And she wasn't far wrong, because it's the ideal local seasonal product. You make it in the summer off grass. It's our best resource we have here in the southwest. And you make a quality product that you can sell for up to 2-3 years if you make it correctly. So it's my mother's fault, but I've enjoyed it. I love cheese. It's a great food. It's a good rounded product, you know, and it's not full of hidden products. A lot of cheap food is bad food. It's full of wheat, soya fillers, full of genetically modified food. It created the first generation of children that would die before their parents. 27% of Americans are clinically obese now. We have an epidemic of heart disease, diabetes. You know, we've ruined our food. And this is why I think the recession will be the best thing that ever happened to this country, because we can go out there, we have all the resources, we can go out there and feed the world, and we don't need genetically modified food to do it.
It's one thing to tell us something that we know is good for us. It's another thing to sell us a product along those lines. I mean, how is the business done? You obviously have passion, but how is the actual nuts and bolts of the business done for you?
Well, I produce the cheese on the farm. I also use a pilot plant in a local cooperative. I'm the only woman I know who borrows lorries off Kerry Co-op. But they're very good to me. And, you know, people like what I'm doing, but the business is going very well because I try and sell the business. My 2 new business partners leave me alone on the whole. They have great faith in what I'm doing. They know the product is excellent, and it's just a question of marketing it right and getting people to engage with their food and engage with Irish society again. So, you know, it's doing very well. We're on the internet and Facebook. We even have our own TV channel on YouTube now, so you can see the place. And we had a big party lately for charity, and yeah, it's going well.
Okay, I'm going to leave it with one question, which I've asked many people today, and that is, we have an audience here today who obviously are showing that they're committed to the future. But what's your piece of advice you'd like to leave these young people with as they walk out the door today?
I think to believe in yourself and know that anything is possible. People can only say no, and if they do, you look for something else. You know, you'll always find something.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you
you're
so much
welcome.
for your inspiration. It's been a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.